Hello, my name is Alan, and tonight I'm facilitating the third of a short series, well, longer than usual series of my own game, Eotenweard. And you want to know more about Eotenweard? Go back and look at episode one of this series. But we are picking up at the point at the end of the hero's first day in the settlement of uh, Oselstead, sorry, um, where they have seen some really odd goings on, which may well arise as they discuss this. Uh, but we are opening in the Great Hall, the Lady Linfriga's Great Hall, where they are being offered hospitality as visitors to the settlement. Um, so, um, I always like to start with a loon. So, T, do you want to tell me what Kerry thinks of being seated as far from the fire as it was possible for them to get you?
Um, Interesting. I think that they are not particularly perturbed by it. And I think he's sitting underneath the table, and has what types of dogs does she have?
I think probably a couple of wolfhounds.
Absolutely. And I think he is, I think the rest of you are, as you're at the table, every so often you'll see just like a hand reach up, sort of pat around, grab something, and then disappear back towards under the table, where Carrie is eating dinner with the dogs because they are nice and cozy.
That's the warmest place around your table. Um, uh, Zena, I'm wondering about Bronwyn. Is what what is what are they making of this setup? Because there's a fire pit. There are anyone who's anyone in the village is up there near the top table, and you've been put on this rather unstable table near the drafty door to the hall.
I think in terms of physical comfort, they couldn't care less because it doesn't affect them in the same way as, a mortal body would. I mean, I think they are drawing certain conclusions from it, but I guess it's not really anything new considering how we were welcomed. And in a way, they're probably um, thinking, they're taking advantage of the fact that this is a good place to people watch, because you're not so much in the center of attention, but instead you can just observe a lot of things around you.
That's very true because most of the light in this hall is coming from that fire pit. So you are well off in the shadows. Um, what about Gwylog, our Celtic mystic, Robbie? What do we first see of Gwylog in this setup?
Um, I think Gwylog may be having a hushed conversation with Kenred at this point, if that's okay. Um, and Gwylog looks at Xena and says, "Well, Xena's doing some people watching, which is we're well positioned for that. But Kenred, we're in the shadows here."
A
Um,
disadvantage and an advantage, my friend, I feel.
Yes, I'm thinking
Yes.
precisely that.
Yes.
And um I would like to talk to those prisoners that we saw on the way in. It seems like everybody here is distracted. I was thinking about ducking out. That seems like a pretty easy thing to accomplish here in the shadows, ducking out and maybe taking the advantage to maybe engage. Clearly, the lady doesn't want our conversation, but maybe this would be an opportune time to have some conversation with those prisoners. Everybody else distracted, most people distracted by what's going on here.
Indeed, my friend. I mean, did we see how it was secured, the
You
stockade?
you never really got very close to it, did you? You looked across the village enough for us to see that Calla, the vicious healer, was undertaking some what appeared to be vivisection of one of these on a flat rock next to the enclosure. So I don't think you've had a close enough look at that. It didn't look like a stockade in the sense of solid 10-foot poles. It looks like a fenced enclosure. So my guess is that you would expect it to be guarded, I think, Kenred.
Hmm. I'm inclined, my friend, to accompany you, just for the sheer fact that I may be able to persuade the people guarding to show more interest in me. So I'm all in favor of your plan. It sounds an
Well,
awesome plan, my friend.
I'm glad you agree with me. You are I think distracting others is one of your strong suits.
Mm, mm. Years ago, I mean, I did distract Ceri, but seems to have remained distracted since then, I'm afraid.
Uh,
Um,
and I
Branwen?
think it.
Oh, go on,
Oh,
T. Go on,
I was
Karen.
gonna say, I think at hearing her name, her head pops up over the uh, trestle and looks around and seeing the two of you in conference will say, walks and talks.
Indeed we do. Indeed we do. Keep low and hear anything that goes on here, my friend. We shall return shortly, as somebody may say in the future.
Um, Branwen, you're people watching as I think Gwylog and Kenred kind of slope away. You will notice that servants are beginning to come around with large pots of something. Looks like they're going to serve you some food. But yeah, Kenred and Gwylog have slipped out into the night. Branwen, what about your people watching? What do we see you doing?
Well, I mean, currently I think they are just looking about to see whether there's anybody who looks particularly interesting with regards to, what's going on in this village. I don't know if they can tell from just, you know, sort of, I don't know, letting their eyes wander. But if they do, then they might try and get a bit of a closer look slash, get a bit closer to listen to them.
Okay, well, I mean, the obvious candidates here are Bard, the cowardly crafter, um, uh, Kala, the healer, is here. Beormund, the captive, is not here. He's with the prisoners that the others are going to look at. Um, and there's Derwin, sat next to the Lady Linfriga. These are your principal supporting cast. Are there any of the ones present that you want to pay attention to, or
Question, I think the cowardly crafter is the one whom I already scared shitless, right?
that's right. That's right.
So I'm not sure. Well, I guess, mm, I don't know. Ooh. Yeah, or maybe actually the vicious healer might be interesting to hear what tales she tells. I think that might be good.
She's not
Um,
sitting on the kind of top table, but
yeah.
she's sitting very near to the top table. So she
Mm,
appears to have some status.
all right. So, yeah, my question is, do you think I could, inconspicuously get closer there without immediately revealing my true nature? Or
Well, I mean, you can face the challenge. I mean, are you wanting to kind of get round the edge of the hall close enough to listen and observe her? What is
yeah,
what is the objective here?
yeah, exactly. I'm wondering if there's a way of doing that, without immediately seeming weird. She's like, oh, I'm looking for, I don't know,
I mean,
does a
you could walk
refill.
around. You could
Yeah,
walk around and just, lean against the wall over there. That's fine.
sure. Well, I'll do that because I'm not sure if I want to immediately go and use my once a session move. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um, what about Kerry? Is Kerry content to go back under the table with the dogs and listen to what's going on, or does Kerry want to do anything else?
Uh, well, I mean, they've been told to keep an ear out, so I think they are going to do that. Uh, and maybe as Bronwyn's sort of like walking around, you hear like a "Hey!" And you realize at some point that Carrie is crawling under the table, sort of next to you, nearby to hear what goes on.
Yeah, there has to be you know, as Branwen is skulking around the edge of the hall in the shadows, we come down beneath the table, and there's Kerry, crawling between people's legs. I think, Kerry, I am curious to know what people make of this, if they notice it or not. So I think I'm going to ask you to face a challenge, either with subtle or steel. This is either about, working your way through it or, sorry, a sense or steel. It's either about agility or picking your moment. Which one do you want to go with?
Hmm. Uh, I mean, his focus right now is definitely paying attention and listening. So I'm gonna go with sense. And I failed to open the dice roller. Let me get to that now. Right, which I believe is +2 for Carrie. Yes, it is. And I don't think I had any advantages or disadvantages writing from the last
No.
session. Excellent. Uh, that is a 12.
Well, you can be under anyone's table, I think is probably the way to play that. Um, and you have advantage, or is your patron particularly impressed that will grant you a bit more favor? Um, or do you want to impress one of the locals?
I think Carrie might have taken a little bit of a shine to Bard. Maybe feels a little bit bad for tripping them last time. Uh yeah, I think I'd like to impress Bard as Carrie is sort of scruffling around. And I think he'd like to eventually end up under Linfriga's table, uh, because that's where. Oh no, Branwen's going to go to listen to Calla, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think he'll go settle under the ladies' table. And hey, maybe she gives her dogs better scraps than she gives her guests. Who can say?
So, well, how does Bard become impressed by your capacity to make your way round? What do we see him doing that makes it clear he's noticed this and he's kind of amazed?
Hmm. Maybe it's something uh do we think Bard to be the well, he's a craftsman. So maybe as Carrie's making her way around, she finds that Bard has dropped his purse. And he'll feel just like a little tap on his knee. And when he looks under the table, Carrie is handing it up with a big grin and like points to where it was dropped. And maybe it was sort of like half buried under the rushes or something. And then a cheeky little wave and then continues on her way.
And I think that he kind of goes to thank you, and you're already on your way, and we see his eyes follow you, uh, as you kind of crawl behind some curtains, up onto the little dais at the top, and we see you just snuggled among the dogs who've obviously followed you back there, to the feet around the feet of Lady Linfriga and Derwin the champion. Um, at which point, I think we'll cut for a moment to Gwylog and Cenred. Um, it's dark It's at least dusk. Um, what do we see you doing? Who takes the lead here?
I don't think now was the time for me to be sort of in the shadow. So I'm more than happy just to walk up to the guards, maybe as a bit of a distraction. Uh, it's up to you what you want to do, Gwylog. Are you going to be more?
I think if you did that, Gwylog would kind of creep around in the shadows looking for a convenient spot where that fence, has some gaps in it to try to kind of get the attention of some of the a prisoner uh, for some conversation.
So I think you're leaning into quick hands and quicker patter here, Kenred.
Yeah, I'll approach the sort of main guard and sort of like, you ever spent any time in a stockade, mate?
Well, no. Why?
Well, you only get to know how to escape from a stockade if you've been in a stockade. So you're always at a disadvantage being a guard, my friend. I've spent many a time in a stockade. Many a time. Worrying a
Let,
sheep. That was the last time I was in a stockade. Could you believe I got caught worrying a sheep?
let's see how this conversation plays out, shall we? Roll plus subtle.
A 4 and a 3 plus 1? 8.
So on a 7 plus, they are distracted until another hero breaks the spell by exploiting their disadvantage. 7 to 9, they notice something they don't like about you or are suspicious of you and your motives. I hold 1 to later disadvantage you because whatever I choose. Um, but Gwylog, the Kenred is talking to the guard, and another guard. There are 2 guards on duty, I think, comes over as if to kind of see what the conversation's going on about, leaving you with an advantage to exploit. How do we see you exploiting that disadvantage?
Um, well, I think I exploit it by um, I see that Kenred is weaving his usual magic. So I think I'm gonna get um, you know, I we had at least from afar seen the captive. Um, is that correct?
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to be able to really, find a really good place that's kind of still in the dark to attract the captive over to us, right? His name is
Beomund.
Beamond. Yes.
And I think, and he kind of rolls over. He's been trying to stay warm by huddling up. Um, and he rolls over and peers into the darkness where you are, Gwylog, and then seeing some outline there, uh, notices the guards are in conversation, and comes towards you. So, who are you?
We I'm with a group that arrived today. As we were approaching, we heard spirits on the wind telling us to turn around, but
Did
for
my
better or
father
for
send
worse.
you?
Your father, who is your father? No,
My father is a great lord. He would reward you if you freed me. They're killing us. They're killing us here.
um, well, I'm inclined to assist you. What exactly is going on in this place? I mean, we noticed you from the distance, and there seems to be some kind of curious ritual practices happening here.
It's horrible. It's horrible. They've killed 2 of us, and not just a clean death. They've literally just cut both of them apart. It
Well, I tell you what, I'm inclined to try to help you um, to escape here. If I do that, though, we need to um, you need to come with me so that we can we can confer with the others of my group as to what exactly would be best to what our best course of action would be at that point.
No, if you can get me out, then I can go and get help. My father will send help.
Who is your father? What is his name?
But my father is a great lord, and his settlement is only half a day from here.
Um, I'm a little suspicious of him. He seems he's being a little bit vague. But
I mean, do you want to assess his truthfulness?
yeah, I think I do. Yeah.
And I think that you could use that advantage that Cenred has given you. Um,
Okay.
though it must be said, or you can choose to hang on to it. It's up to you. Once you use it, the distraction by the guards will tail away.
Yeah, so this would be using to assess his truthfulness, I would be using
Unless you've got something else, I would think you're probably going to face the challenge of discovering of making a judgment.
um and that would be with
Well, I think probably with sense to
yeah.
make a judgment about his veracity.
All right. I think with that, I think I'll do this without the advantage though. I think I
Fine, keep that on the shelf.
and
Penred is still weaving his magic over on the other side of the fenced enclosure.
so that's 9 plus sense is 2, so it's an 11.
Um, he is not being entirely truthful. Partly that is the way that he looks. He is not dressed as the son of a great lord. He does not look the part.
Hmm.
And I think that it's fair to say that you are right to be suspicious of him. Does that seem like a decent
Yes.
answer?
Yeah,
Uh,
and I think with that, I will let him know. I say, well, we just just arrived here and no offense, but you don't quite look the part that you are giving yourself. But I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to
they
take care of
they they
business.
they've treated us terribly. They took
That
everything all they took sword, mail, every valuable I possess. They gave me these rags to these rags to wear. Um, you have an advantage, I think, at this point in relation to him, given that 10 on face a challenge. So you have both an advantage to burn in terms of Kenred's distraction, but you also have an advantage over him.
Mhm.
You have the upper hand in this conversation.
um
Tell you what, while you're thinking about what to do with that advantage, I will cut back to the hall. Um, Branwen, you will see Kerry, you know, making her way up and settling in with the dogs under the table. Um, and you will also see Lady Linfriga call Calla, the healer, up to talk to her. Do you want to insinuate yourself any closer, or do you think that you are close enough in the shadows to the side of the room?
Well, I would like to be able to overhear them because I'm not sure if Carrie will necessarily bring back usable report or usable report. I'm sorry.
Harry is an
Yes.
entirely reliable narrator. How dare you?
Well, okay, maybe I just distrust my interpretation abilities.
Well, I
Um,
tell you what, we'll if it gets really interesting what they're saying, I may have you test you sneaking a little closer. But
cool.
I mean, I would very happily, Branwen, have you shoulder your burden of intrusiveness to just be there.
Sure.
Yeah. So once per session, express your burden, tick that box. That will gain you a favor because, you know, supernatural patrons, they just love to see people pushing their luck.
Mhm.
Um, and so yeah, you are, you know, edging ever closer. And Ceri is, you know, just snuggled up among the dogs. And Linfriga leans forward, and Derwin senses that there's a conversation going on, leans in as well. And Linfriga says to Calla, um, how much longer do we have to wait until you can hear Derwin? Um, And Calla says, my lady, it's a subtle act of finding the right humours, uh, and extracting them from these prisoners, these worthless slaves. Um, but I am very close. I think probably another one or two of them, and I will have what I need. And then
Hmm.
Frigga says, well, very good. Um, but I'm worried someone may find out what's going on. Harry, you hear this conversation from under the table. Is there anything you want to do with that information, or anything you want to, how you or react to that?
Yeah. I think Carrie's interest has certainly piqued. There seems to be some sort of, um, I mean, I don't think they're so divorced from reality. They can tell that this is a bad thing that she is doing. Um, but I think they're curious about whether they can come up with a better way to help Derwin. Because I know that Gwylog sort of attempted to sell the all natural herbal remedy earlier and was rebuffed. And so I'm going to invoke my gift, I think.
Okay, let's have you do that. So invoke your gift, um, roll plus favor, and let's see what goes on.
All right, so that will be a 3 + 3. That's a 6.
Oh my, how interesting is that? So
Hmm.
you are seeking. Okay, okay. What does the site show you? Your patron sometimes shows you things that cannot be seen and that may be best left unseen. Okay.
Leaving unseen is currently Derwin's stock and trade.
Yes. Okay, well, just while I think about that, I'm going to mark some shade. Um,
Hmm.
and that moves us into dreary. And at dreary, a manifestation of the darkness strikes at the settlement or an NPC. Um, I think there's a scream from the back of the hall. Um, and you see one of the locals, one of the nameless locals, stand up, clutching their stomach, and vomiting into the flames. But as they vomit into the flames of the fire pit, your sight reveals that they are vomiting up you a portion of a spirit. It's not an entire. It's a fragment of a spirit.
Hmm.
Um, Branwen, I think I want you now to face a challenge,
Hmm.
probably using sense to see where your attention is, whether it is on, whether it's the vomiting person or Linfriga on the top table. I think you probably want to keep an eye on Linfriga on the top table, but let's see if you get a choice.
All right.
And I think it is probably subtle. It's about
Face a
making a
challenge
judgment. Yeah,
with subtle.
yes.
All right. Not with sense? No? Okay.
No, I think with subtle, because this is about, are you able to stay on task here? And you're
All right.
also inquisitive, so you're kind of looking everywhere. So go on.
Well, that is unfortunate because that is a 6 with subtle.
Oh, well, fancy
Yes.
that. And that you don't your attention is drawn away from the top table as two other people get up and start clutching their stomachs and vomiting. Um, what do you make of that, Branwen?
Hmm. I am wondering if I should invoke my gift.
Well, that of course would be your choice.
I
Your
mean,
gift being sights and sounds. Your patrons sometimes let you send or receive sights or sounds to places normally denied you.
so I'm wondering if I can, in one way or another, see what it is that, what these fragments of a spirit are, if they are maybe communicative, or if I can see,
Okay.
what has caused this
I think
sudden.
trying to communicate with them, I think,
Hmm.
because your gift is principally a communicative one.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's have you roll plus favor to invoke that gift.
Hang on.
Because favor's looking pretty good at the moment.
Yes, and unfortunately, the dice roller is not on my side because I
Wow.
have rolled a 3.
Wow. So even with 3 favor,
Yes.
my goodness me, that's remarkable. Wow. Okay. So we've had a lot of failed favors there. Each of you. So Kerry, your sight will have cost you a favor. Branwen, that will have cost you a favor. Oh no, it's only if it works. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Sorry, I'm forgetting. Um, wow. Okay. That, there are people all over the place, and all you get is a kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Those fragments of spirit are screaming. Yeah. Um,
Okay.
and I think that's when Linfriga stands up and leans over there, and she's looking around the hall and says to Calla, "What's happening?" At which point we cut back to the stockade, the prisoners. Um, Gwylog, I think I might even have you hear some screaming from the hall.
Yeah. I think Gwylog is inclined to try to get this shady fellow out of the stockade. Um, I have two ideas. One of them is referring to I think the Celtic Mystic Playbook. But I'm either inclined to invoke my gift to give me some superhuman strength so that I can pry things open more easily, or there is something here about summoning a curse into a place, person, or object. I mean, I was thinking about uh, getting some type of promise that would be like have some supernatural force to it for this fellow to agree to stay with us and not betray us or not simply to run off for until we're basically done
Okay.
dealing with this
So
situation.
so you want to threaten him with
Yeah.
your powers. So really, this is about demonstrating that you have powers, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think this is more about convincing him with favor, to be
Okay.
honest, than even invoking anything. Because what
Okay.
you want him to know is that you command certain powers in the land, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think you need to invoke your gift per se, but I think you do need to convince him, but instead of rolling with subtle, I let you roll with favor.
Okay.
But success will cost you a favor.
Okay. My favor is now 0.
Oh.
I think before this, if I could go on and to boost things a little bit, I think I'm getting angry right now
Aha.
too. I mean that
Excellent.
right. So I'm going to express my burden of rage here. I mean, I think that there's been a times in the past where, you know, people inexplicably are being helped out and yet they're not being honest with you. And that kind of crosses a line for Gwylog.
So I don't think it's going to be about impressing him with your favor. This is about just letting loose. How is your rage going to convince him that he should not mess with you?
I
What do you what do you do with that rage, Gwylog?
I, I think I've grabbed him by the arm and pulled the arm through this right, and I'm now kind of bending it and kind of causing pain. He's maybe getting a little worried that his arm might be broken.
Yeah,
And I'm saying, you know, let's stop the acting, shall we?
yes,
Let,
yeah,
let's let's be serious.
yes, yeah, 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 yeah. No, whatever you say, whatever you say. Please, just let me go, let me go. I
And
think that he knows that there is more to you than this strange kind of plant encrusted, fetish wearing mystic.
Mhm.
What do you want? What do you want from me? What do you want from me?
I'm gonna get you out of here, but you are going to remain true to me and true to us until we are done with this place.
Yeah, yeah. Anything you say, just don't bring my up. Don't bring my up.
And I think from there, you know, Gulag is going to reach to like part of the stockade and start to try to pry some of that open so that he has a little space to work his way through.
I think that you have advantage working for you here. I'm not even going to make you roll. If you are prepared to cash in the advantage that Kenred gave you
Mhm.
for the
Yes.
distraction, so that
Hmm.
means they won't notice. And if you are prepared to we just agree among ourselves that he is now scared shitless of you, then tell me how you tear a hole in this fencing.
Um, I think it starts with his arm as I'm kind of prying. I'm using his arm to assist me in kind of prying it open. And as it's being pried open, he knows that I'm using it as a tool, right, to kind of gain leverage. And but then the pressure starts releasing as like some of that wood starts to kind of come apart. And then, you know, like to get him through, I'm like forcibly pulling him through, not being worried that it causes a little bit of extra pain to him as we're kind of working our way through.
And you drag him through. Um, Kenred, um, I think that the magic that you have woven, the attention you've gained, is wearing thin. And then there's a kind of crack as you hear some the wood splinter. But to be honest, their attention is now on the Great Hall where there is screaming. What do you do, Kenred?
Um, I'm gonna say, bloody hell, you know, I'm gonna go have a look at it. Do you guys want come with me? Have a look at it. At least one of you. I mean, that sounds wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah, one of them will the one that you first approached will tell the other one to watch the prisoners, and he's going to come with you. Um, Branwen, uh, there is chaos in the hall. The people are vomiting. I think that you can see that they may be vomiting blood. Um, and you're hearing these screaming from these spirits. And Ceri, from your position under the table, you can see that every time one of these locals vomits, this fragment of spirit is thrown up. So let's start with Branwen, then I'll go to Ceri. What if anything, you're doing, Branwen?
I mean, yeah, the whole invoking my gift clearly didn't work. I think part of me is, well, apart from being, I guess, I don't even know, troubled by the sounds of these screaming spirits. I think Branwen's also really worried that they're gonna blame us for this because we are the people who have only just turned up and everyone else, is from here. So I think my move might be to try and go grab Carrie as fast as possible and get out of there before we get shut in there.
A witch! Stop the
Yeah.
witch! Ceri, what about that? There is chaos, there is distraction. Branwen appears beside you, kneeling down beneath the table next to you, and is clearly wanting you to come with her. What with them? What do you do, Ceri?
Yeah, I think Carrie is visibly afraid, which does not happen often.
Hmm.
And I think in a way that makes them seem maybe younger than they are, we'll sort of like reach out for Branwen, uh, sort of with both arms. I think it's not entirely clear whether, she's asking to be held or wants you to pull her up or what. But I think is looking at you with biggie eyes and says, "Roast ghost."
And where, Branwen, are you guiding Ceri?
Well, I think first of all, out of the hall. Um, I'm hoping that the chaos is enough distraction that nobody's gonna stop us.
Let's find out, shall we? Let's have you face a challenge with steel to either
Sure.
barge your way through or duck and weave across this chaos.
Wonderful. I have -1 in that. Um,
Can Carrie assist, or do I need to decide that after
Afterwards,
they
once
roll?
once
After
the
they roll. Okay.
once the
right.
roll goes, we'll see if you're needed, Ceri.
Oh, goodness me. Is this possible? It is a 3. -1 is a 2.
Not
Wow.
I
great.
keep rolling
Well,
3s.
well, before I mark, gosh, how far have we got? I'm about to mark the first on the bleak portion of the track. So, Ceri, I think you can assume that Branwen wants your help. Is this the opportunity to help another hero? Or, Branwen, do you want to seek an intervention?
Ooh, wait, what is the thing again?
So, help
Oh, where
another
is it?
hero would, so it's
Ah,
on the common moves and it's improving outcomes. There are 3 ways to improve an outcome: help another hero, seek an intervention, or when all seems lost. Seek an intervention is a kind of preliminary rather than a post. So it's either you turn to Ceri for help or you turn to your supernatural patron.
well, the question is who rolls better, huh? We don't
I
know.
Well,
wonder if no, your role. Okay, never mind. I was going to say, can Carrie seek intervention on Branwen's behalf?
not really, no.
Yeah, no, that
No,
makes sense.
but okay. Um,
I mean, in the
I think I'm,
circumstances, it
yes,
it it almost feels like Ceri should have first shot at this.
yes, I think
And
so
and,
too.
and unless T you think Ceri is just right, really frightened by all of this and not able to do anything.
I mean, I think he is, but I think also he has his staff, and if people are trying to lunge towards them, not above bopping somebody in the head. Uh,
So
so
are you telling me you want to roll plus steel to help another hero?
I think so, because Brandon was sort of just charging through also with steel, right? Uh, so I think it would be hard to at this point to be like, and now I'm going to be sneaky.
Okay.
Yeah, so this will be plus steel. So that's a 6. So can we take it? Does that reduces the effect, right? So it would be a whatever is below a 6 minus.
Yeah, so it means that so I mark the first of the bleak.
Goodness
Hmm.
me.
Yeah, so you fail, and the original move outcome defaults to 6 minus. Well, it was already 6 minus, so
Indeed.
nothing gets worse for Branwen. But
We're
you are
just
now
marking more
lumbered with
shade.
the same. Yeah, marking more shade. You are lumbered with the same outcome, which is um you can't get out. You cannot
Hmm.
get through. Just people are. There's a wall of people. It looks like people are stampeding towards the exit, and you're at the back. And I think that is when Kala says, "It's them."
Of course. Well, can I still seek an intervention?
um, Cut to Gwylog. Gwylog, you've
Sure.
got Beermund out, and he is not running into the dark. But I think it's very clear that as what do you do? You get him through the fence. He's out in the open. What do you do with him?
Am I hearing noise from the hall at this
Yes,
point?
yes.
Um, yeah, so I tell Beanman, I'm still holding him by the arm. I mean, I'm yes, just letting him know.
Oh yeah,
But
he
you
knows. He
know,
knows.
um, I will tell him. I say there seems to be something of a row going on in the hall, and some of my friends are in there.
Well, let's get him. Let's get him and get away from this hellhole.
And so I say, yes, well, we'll decide whether when we're going to get away, but we certainly need to kind of see if they need any assistance right now, and work our way quickly then over to the hall, which seems to be in some state of chaos right now.
And I think almost certainly the other prisoners, the rest of his group, whoever they may be, um, maybe they're all the sons of great lords. Who knows? Um, at least one of them will have noticed what's happened and is making a swift exit, the way that you got him out. Um, but I think Kenred, you and the guard will arrive at the hall as people begin to come out. And some of them turn to one side and they're vomiting against the wall. It's chaos, Kenred.
Uh, I would really love to help my friends, but oof, I can feel it in my stomach. Whatever it was, I was in the hall, my friend. Quick to the privy, my friend, to the privy. And yeah. Sorry, peel off left, peel off left. The privy calls, my friend. The privy calls. There's probably another way into the hall, is there?
Oh, there may well be. Do you want to seek one?
I do.
Then do you have anything, any move that you want to play into, or is this look about you?
I think this is a straight look about me. Yeah, I don't think this is I knew somebody once.
No, no.
No.
Yeah, I knew an architect once. So let's review roll plus sense.
Uh, Excellent. +2 is always good until it's not. A 5 and a 2, +2 is 9. Can't
Well,
complain.
it's about time someone succeeded at something. Okay, so on a 9, I will tell you, yeah, I think that there will be. I think at the back of the hall, there's a shuttered window into the private rooms at the back of the hall where Linfriga will have rooms, and probably Derwin as well. Um, yeah, that'll do. Yeah.
Yep.
What are you going to do with this piece of information?
Uh, I'd like to get into the hall using that method.
Okay. Um, Branwen, Ceri. Let me start with Ceri. What does Ceri do when the Callas call says, "It's them," and points in your direction, Ceri?
Hmm. I think this is not likely to go well, but uh I think he's going to look around for Brad, sorry, not Brad, Bard, who seemed to be, they had a moment earlier, and she's going to try to convince Bard to help out. And I mean, she was under the table the whole time. She clearly couldn't have done anything to the food. Um,
Okay, so I mean, one of the things you can do with that debt that you earned from Bard, it's a debt to an earthly faction. Um, Spend a debt an earthly faction owes you to grant one of the heroes advantage through the intervention of a mortal NPC member of the faction, i.e., you tell me how Bard is going to help you, and you will have advantage to do what he helps you do.
yeah.
Now, is this convincing the handful of people who aren't trying to rush out of the room and the Lady Linfriga that you are innocent parties?
I think so. I think it might be just Carrie though, because we established that he is cowardly. And also Branwen scared him very badly. Um, so I don't know if it would make sense for him to really go to bat for Branwen. But Carrie's gonna look at Bard pleadingly with big puppy dog eyes. Uh,
So
Picture of innocence.
is this that he will help hide you, or is this
Oh,
that he will go into bat to say, she's harmless, my lady? You know what's because
I
that will
think
depend which
hiding
mood it
feels
is.
like more his speed.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I can't see him
Mhm.
standing up and confronting Lady
No.
Linfriga. Um,
No.
so you have advantage, and I think that this is roll with subtle to get hidden. Face a challenge of getting hidden, but he's helping you. So when that finger points, Branwen suddenly discovers there's no Kerry. Roll with
Uh,
subtle.
s- Sorry, my internet connection's a little bit wobbly. I missed some of that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Uh, oh
Right.
no, it's okay.
So I think you're facing the challenge
Mhm.
with his help of finding somewhere to hide that means that that finger that's pointing is not pointing at you. Does that seem like a
Yes.
yeah? So
Yeah.
I think it's a cunning plan or it's an athletic feat. Which do you want?
Uh, I think cunning plan. I don't think Carrie's feeling up to leaping about right now.
Okay, roll plus subtle.
All right. Which is a -1, but I do get to mark my last stat, so that's
And
nice.
you
And this is with
also
advantage.
roll three dice, take the top two, yeah.
All right. And this will be -1. So that's a 9. -1 is 8.
Well, that's fine. So you succeed, but I think respite is temporary. So where does he drag you into that gets you out of sight?
Do we think Calla sleeps in the hall?
Probably not, but I'm very happy for that to be, yeah, if that's what you'd like, you can have that.
Or maybe she's got a workroom in the private rooms of the hall or something where, her
Well, let's take you
implements
into
would be
that
unused.
more private part of the building, and
Yeah,
we'll see what happens then.
sounds good.
Okay, so Bart says, "No, this way," and he drags you round the back of the curtains that separate the dais of the top table from those private spaces at the back. Um, Branwen, Calla has attention on you, big finger.
Hmm.
Um, and Linfriga, Derwin, and perhaps two or three other nameless members of her staff, servants, another warrior maybe, are all looking at you. What do you do, Branwen?
Well, if they're only looking, there's different. I've thought of different options. Because I mean, I can get out of wherever. It's not a problem.
Because Kerry's
So
gone.
yeah, I blah. Yeah, because otherwise I would have used my new move. But if nobody's grabbing me, I don't care.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
I'll just
you
use
can
my.
stand still and wait to be grabbed.
Eh, no, I think I will reveal my true nature.
Oh, right.
It,
Once the friendship.
yeah, this reminds me of, I don't know, another time in my past when I don't know, maybe even before I had this wonderful gift of, becoming invisible or whatever, when
Well,
I
coming
managed
coming
to
back from
actually
the
sneak
dead,
out.
for instance.
Yeah, yeah, no, but when I just managed to evade capture, better than this time, but luckily, this time I can become translucent and well float through any solid. So I guess I'm just gonna.
Fine. So, cast aside your corporeal seeming, reveal your true incorporeal nature, and move freely through any solid not specifically warded against you. So, what do we just see you drift back through the wall?
I guess so, yes. I mean, I think I would like to be able to follow in the direction of where Carrie went, because I would rather not them getting lost by themselves.
Fair enough.
If I see where they were dragging where what was it, Bard was dragging him, I would probably follow in that direction. But
Fine.
yeah,
So you literally just walk through the wall behind the dais.
yeah.
Um, and Calla is pointing at you, and her mouth goes, "A
I mean, I know that
witch!"
doesn't help with. Yeah, it doesn't help, but
Yeah, reputationally, that's not done you any good, but it has got you out of the room. So Gwylog, I'm seeing you arrive at the hall, people spilling out. Um, Ceri has made her way into the back of the building. Branwen has made her way in the back of the building. Cenred is coming in from the outside of the back of the building. And that's where we'll take our first break. As chaos reigns
mayhem.
in Oselstead. Um, shall we say back in our seats at 10 past the hour?
Sounds good.
See you then.
Well,
Um, so I think when we come back, I think that Kerry and Bard, our cowardly rope maker, net maker, um, are go into that back room to find Cenred clambering through the shuttered window. Um, and what do you do, Cenred?
Aha! Rescue awaits. I am here, my friend.
And Bard is kind of, whoa, who are you? Who are you? Kerry, Bard is scared of Cenred. Bard is scared of everyone, apart from you at the moment.
hmm. Uh, and I think, Kenred, are you wearing your hood currently?
I am because I mean it's night, and if you want to look shady, you got to wear a hood.
You're disguised as a criminal. Yeah.
Gotta look the
Uh,
part.
yeah, so I think Carrie will assume that it's the hood that Bard is discomfited by, and will sort of nod sagely and say hood, and will just in as she has so often before, just sort of tug it off of your head, and then turn and give Bard a big smile and say good.
Good hood. Um, uh, and just as well that you are speaking to Bard at that point, because that's when Branwen walks through the wall. And Bard doesn't notice that in the first instance. So the three of you are there, but Cenred, um, I notice you still have dishonesty mark, don't you?
I do, and I think I'm going to stay here quite a bit of time. I'll be the last one out. I'll cover the rear because I mean this is where somebody important probably sleeps. There could be something good here. So I'm more than willing to be the tail end Charlie here. Out, my friends, out. I'll cover your retreat. Um,
Well, Branwen can just walk through the wall. That's
always got to one up one people. Always got to one up people.
Me.
So you're ushering Ceri and Bard through the window. Let me cut back to the front of the hall, where Gwylog is, most of the crowd, I think, have probably spilled out into the village. They're sobbing and crying and what's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
Does Gwylog see, or is Gwylog aware of like spirits that have been vomited forth?
Well, it's strange you should say that, Gwylog, because shade has now reached bleak. And when shade reaches bleak, a manifest into the darkness strikes at the heroes. So Gwylog, out of the flames of the fire pit and the piles of vomit around the crowd have left behind, you see those fragments of spirit beginning to coalesce. What do you do?
Um, I think I want to get insight into what these spirits are and what they are about at this point.
How do you intend to do that?
Um, um, well, I do have this mind of the monstrous move. Um, when you seek out the mind of someone or something you have encountered that the fates agree have behaved monstrously, there's that. I don't know if that would
I don't
apply.
think there's any evidence yet that these fragments of spirits are monstrous. I think that they may be having a monstrous effect, but I
Hmm.
think it's a stretch to go straight to that. You need to see this thing do something, or these things do something monstrous.
Um, yeah, at that, I think then I will invoke my gift.
Okay.
Um,
What are you
and
what are you thinking of doing?
to discover the intentions of someone or something in the scene.
Fine, fine. Let's have you invoke your gift. Uh, what's your current favor?
And I have a question here because I did go into rage, which gave me a +1 favor. Did I have to spend that when I was also getting the advantage?
No.
Okay, so I have 1 favor then for this, and we'll see what happens.
I mean, if you wanted to mark some harm and offer some blood and pain to the old gods, then they might, you'd have two favor. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I've done that before. Yeah, let me go on and do that. I will. Yeah, as I'm doing this, I bite down on my hand, the one that's not gripping our Bienmund. Yes, to get that. So let me go and mark. Uh,
So you're already wearied. You are now going to be wounded, but that will grant you a favor.
okay, so and that will give me 2. So let me go and roll, and then so I have 2 to this.
Hmm.
So that gives me I rolled an 8 +2 is 10.
Well, that doesn't get better than that, does it? So on a 7+, that will cost you that favor that you just earned, but never mind. Um, and your gift has greater impact, scope, scale, or duration, or you gain an advantage relative to them, to what you're looking at. Or would you like me to tell you what you see or what
Um,
you sense from this before you decide how to use your 10+?
could I use my 10 plus so that the this spirit that is coalescing um recognizes me, but recognizes me as somebody who's not from here, um, and is reaching out wanting communication. wanting some kind of more clear communication.
Okay, well let's start with what would have been a 7+ outcome on that, which is that this coalescing spirit is very angry and pained, and it feels that it has been badly treated, and begins to coalesce into a male figure uh, with their chest and belly open, and their guts spilling out around their knees. And the predominant sense you get from this is psychopathic almost rage against anyone. Now, 10+. Impact, scope, scale, or duration. I don't think that gives you the right to change the way it feels.
Mm-hmm.
You can. I think that you now would have grounds to use Mind of the Monstrous because it is clearly intent on slaughter. Revenge-driven slaughter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, the mind of the monk. Yeah.
Just because you could, as your 10+, then take advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So you have some insight into it if you want to. Whether Mind of the Monster is going to tell you anything particular, I don't know. Because it is now moving towards you, given that
Okay.
you've kind of stepped forward to see into the hall.
Yeah, so let me do that. The mind of the monstrous.
Go on.
And
So
I'm gonna
roll plus favor, you have advantage.
okay. Okay. So 6 plus, and I'm trying to keep track of my favor because I was up to 2 favor, but did I spend 1
You
for
had to
that?
spend 1 for the effect of
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
but I get 1, so it's a good thing that I would roll the 3, I think. So it was a 6 plus 1 is a 7.
Okay, so you get to ask one of these questions. Where are they now? Right there. What are their current motives or intentions? I think you've got that. What do they want or desire that drives them? What might tempt them to act or reveal themselves? What worries or even frightens them the most? Or some similar question.
Can I ask the question? Uh, what would bring some type of ease to this spirit? What would help mitigate its rage?
I think it needs to have its revenge sated. And I think I can now tell you, these people consumed me, and I will consume them. And you will be the first.
Yeah, I think with that, I would say
We cut back to Cenred at the back of the hall. Branwen, do you follow Ceri and Bard out the window, or do you just walk through the wall beside them?
Mm, well, I think before I make my exit, I will probably say to Kenred, like, what will I say? I'll try to just yeah. Whatever this so-called healer is up to, it's certainly not healing. I think it's time we just left these people to their fate and make off. Where's Gwylog?
Outside somewhere, maybe.
Outside somewhere.
It's a big place.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well,
He was there. He's got the bloke out the stockade, by the way. So, all's good. Somewhere.
amazing. Yeah, but do you agree? Should we,
We shouldn't be here
Make like
Definitely,
a tree
you
with
lot shouldn't
me.
be here.
Right. Okay, well, I don't know. I guess I will meet you
Yes, yes. Find Gwylog. I will
outside
meet.
of the village
Yes,
somewhere. And
yes.
yeah, I think I will follow Carrie and this Bard outside and then try to see if I can see Gwylog.
Fine. So, Kenred, leaning on your currently marked burden of dishonesty, how does that dishonesty now display?
Well, I mean, possession's 9/10, isn't it? So, whatever's in this room, if it's not on their person, I mean, it's free picking. So, what nicey stuff is in this room?
Um, I think that let's have you face a challenge, I think, to see whether anyone is going to run this way as well, given what's happening out in the hall right now. So let's have you face a challenge, see whether you're going to get anything done usefully before somebody else comes and looks for an escape route.
Subtle.
I think so.
5.
5. Um, your head is in a chest, sorting through stuff, when Derwin's voice says, "This way, my lady," and you hear a stumbling, into the room behind you.
Well, that does play quite well into that's worth a lot, I think.
Okay. When someone or something in the scene has an item the fate agrees is valuable or important to them or the narrative, say what you do to deprive them of it and roll plus sense. When your head comes out of the chest, Derwin is ushering Calla and the Lady Linfriga into the room.
Does Calla have any sort of like torque or anything round her neck that I could quickly?
I'm very happy for her to, as she comes in, a pendant, kind of swings
Yeah,
visibly for us to know that she has it. So you'd like to take it, would you, or gain possession of it?
I would.
Okay, let's have you roll plus sense. When someone or something in the scene has an item I agree is valuable, we'll discuss how and why in a moment. Roll plus sense.
6, 7, 8.
Post-run thing. So that is 7 plus. You succeed, they are deprived of it. 7 to 9. You must face a challenge to retrieve it before they do. You snatch it, but the chain breaks and the pendant falls on the ground. Let's go back to Gwylog. No, let me ask Ceri. Ceri, Bard kind of wants to just head for the hills at this point, Ceri. Branwen has come through the wall just behind you. Do you want to? What do you want to do, Ceri?
I think now free of the influence, or I guess the immediate influence of the Cursed Hall, uh, Carrie knows exactly where to go. And I think I'm gonna roll to see if they're right. Uh, and I think, I think I want this to be a an intervention, perhaps to look about you.
Okay. So you want to seek an intervention, can help you with a common move, roll plus favor instead of an attribute, achieve 7 plus, spend favor to get the benefit. So yeah, look about you with favor.
Yeah, and I think Carrie
What
is
do you,
looking around for birds to see if, there's any divine signals. Uh, Cala's very silly if she thinks they're in entrails. Everybody knows they're in wings.
okay,
Uh, and that is 8 plus 3, 11. So spend
11.
favor.
Wow. So spend the favor for that. On an 11 plus, 7 plus tells you something relevant or may ask you to suggest something that interests you. I think that I'm going to ask you to suggest something that interests you. What are the birds traveling in a direction that gives you some signal of where to go next, or what?
Hmm. Um,
Or you can defer that one back to me very happily.
I think it's evening, so I think this is remarkable. I think Carrie, having sort of tumbled out of the window, pulled Bard through, brushes herself off, looks around, and sees a white cockerel just standing on the roof of a building. Head sort of looks one way, looks the other way, and then will sort of hop and flap down in a direction that seems good to carry. So they will point and say, "This is the way."
I will ask you in a moment whether that way is going to lead you to the overgrown river or the treacherous sacred place. And off goes the chicken, followed by Kerry. And I think as it seems to be heading out of the village, I think Bard's up for following you. Branwen,
Yes.
Kerry is pursuing exit stage left, pursuing chicken.
Hmm.
Branwen, what do you do?
I will, mark the direction in which Carrie was pointing and say, that I will catch up with them and try and find Gwylog. And I'm wondering if um, me getting out of the back, I don't know, is it possible for me to see this the stockade and this guard that was staying around there? Or
It's pretty much on the other side of the village, but I'm very happy for you to head in that direction if that's what you're interested in.
well, I mean, my question is like, what would be the easiest way to find out where Gwylog is with,
Right.
having no mind reading capabilities?
Yeah, fair enough. I think that the remaining guard on guarding the prisoners has run to the hall. I don't think there's any
Right.
question that the events and there's lots going on at the front of the hall. So if you're looking for somewhere to go, I think that's the logical place to head because it's all quiet
Cool.
back here, but
Fair
there's
enough.
lots of activity at the front.
Then I'm just continuing in my incorporeal state and phasing through the wall
Okay,
again to get back into the hall and
fine.
make
Where
out where Gwylog is.
Well, there you will see this Saxon male with their chest and belly open, organs flopping out. Um, this spirit, um, reasonably solid, and it is stalking towards Gwylog, who stands in the hall doorway, with frightened villagers behind him. But before I do that, I want to know whether Kenred's going to get lucky with this pendant. What are you going to do, Kenred, when it falls on the floor? How do you get it or try to get it before she retrieves it?
Uh, well, I would say, it's a test of sort of strength to sort of pull it away from them. Uh, but I mean, Woden's son was a trickster. So I think Woden will shine upon me, and I would like to use favor instead to trick it out of their hand.
So you're seeking an intervention. Fine. Let's have you roll plus favor.
6, 7, 8. So it comes
Eight.
down by one.
Yes, fate that costs you a favor because you've succeeded. Um, but yes, face a challenge, you get it. Um, but I think I'm going to make you mark harm doing it because I think she strikes at you as you reach for it on the ground. She kind of beats at your hand with a club as you grab it, but you have the amulet, the whatever it is, and. Uh, Derwin, of course, is not a lot of help in this circumstance because he's still got his eyes are wrapped up. Um, but Lady Linfriga uh, draws her dagger and is clearly going to go for you, Kenred, unless you do something else.
I'd like to dive out the window.
Fine. Let's have you roll to face that challenge with steel.
Thought you might say that. Uh-huh. 10.
Ho, 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 ho.
-1, 9.
Effortless, effortless. I think that they may well pursue you, but you're out the window. Gwylog, you are, as I described, facing this thing. It's stalking towards you, um, and it raises its hands and kind of flicks them forward, and cinders and burning pieces of wood, anything that isn't tied down, sweeps towards you. How do you defend yourself, Gwylog?
Um, I think Gwylog, who's also enraged, is going to meet rage with rage. I think Gwylog has the intention of facing down this spirit and banishing it if possible.
So you're gonna, take the hit and then try to banish it. Fine.
Yes.
So mark 2 harm
Okay.
as this stuff sweeps to, and you will see this, Branwen. That's the point at which you enter. Gwylog clearly is preparing to call on the powers of the old gods. What, Branwen, if anything, do you do at this point?
Mm, I mean, so I don't want to step on Robbie's toes with my move, but my thought was that, well, if I see Gwylog being, in danger, I guess, I would certainly try and help and intervene one way or another, not really caring about the banishment of the spirit one way or
Okay,
another. But
okay. Well, there is a way to do that.
I'd be happy
There-
for you to do that first to try.
Well, I mean, you could try to stop some of that harm going Gwylog's way,
hmm
because face a challenge when you take a risk to protect someone or something, then face a challenge. You are currently incorporeal, so I think you're going to have to become corporeal and push him out of the way using steel if you want to protect him.
Mm. Yeah, see, my idea was like
Go on.
to let the harm happen, whatever, and basically, if things look dire, I think they would rush in and try and use whispered death in maybe a slightly different way from the last time to try and
Okay, we'll keep that one ready to
yeah.
go. Let's have Gwylog try to cast his banishment.
All right.
So roll plus favor to invoke your.
Yes. So this is +1. Oh my goodness. I rolled the boxcars. 260.
Wow. Wow. Who
Minus
cares how
13.
much favor you had? You now have one less. Unless you choose that your patron is magnanimous and refuses that favor. So you could keep that favor, or you can have some other stuff. But banishment is going to work.
Yeah, I think I'll keep the favor.
Fine. Now this banishment is not forever,
Correct.
but what do we see? Feel free to dip into the special effects budget.
I think you see Gwylog grabbing one of the posts of the front door, which is made of wood, and he's telling Beanman, who he has by the other hand, grab the wood on your side, and with that, right, you see. I mean, it kind of looks like the wood is catching fire, and kind of then just as the spirit was, having cinders and things pouring towards me, you kind of see this magical fire, blazing back at that spirit, using the wood as as a kind of conduit for this spiritual effect.
And as that kind of blast of flame sweeps through the hall, when it kind of clears, the spirit is gone. Cenred, Um, you hear a cock crow, and there's a white cockerel over there, looking over its shoulder at you, flapping its wings and crowing.
Ooh, they could be worth quite a lot, a white cockerel. That could be worth something. Let's pursue it.
Um, Branwen, Gwylog, you appear to have, seen this thing disappear. Um, Linfriga and the others have disappeared from the hall, which is now beginning to burn. Um, the people of the village are outside, taking cover. They're just in awe of what is going on around them. Branwen, what do you want to do?
I think I will, yeah, just rush toward Gwylog and go, time to follow the birds. And try just like to, I think, I wonder if, I know I'm incorporeal, but I do feel like there's like an in-between state where I can still affect you one
Stuff.
way or another, just to at least try and pull you, in the direction of the door to show you, the direction that Carrie went.
I'm very happy for that. Yeah, yeah. And Beomund is kind of, can I go now, please, sir?
Um, I think I look I'll look at Beeman and say, um, I will let him go and say the choice is up to you. I'm going with my companions. If you would like to join us, you may do so. But if you are frightened of that course, do as you will.
He points at where the spirit, you banished the spirit, and he says, that was Gund. He was one of mine. I need to go, and I need to leave. I can't, that cannot be my fate.
And I think Gwilog will say, fine. You know, if you need to run, run. But we may be I'm going to have to confer with my companions. We may need to come up with a more permanent solution for Gund and this uh, unbelievable rage that he has.
I'm not surprised after what they did to him. And it becomes clear that this was the man that you saw being vivisected when you arrived. Cat. Um, Harry, does the are you heading towards the where's it gone? The overgrown river or the treacherous sacred place? Has
I
the
think it's
cockerel
got to be the treacherous sacred place.
okay, treacherous sacred place it is. And I think there, in the shadow of these crumbling stone ruins, um, we see the four of you coming back together. And I think you're owed at least one and maybe two insights on the basis of recent events. So I think let's go with Branwen and Kerry. You saw events unfold in the hall. I'm curious whether you think that there is an insight that you could describe coming out of this, an insight into the darkness that looms over this place. We're such a polite community, it's almost impossible when you ask two people a question for them to
uh,
agree who should speak first. But, have the conversation.
I think
Mm,
Carrie is sitting sort of cross-legged on one of these fallen stones and sort of like ticking off on their fingers. And it's roast ghost, dead bread, beasts and feasts, beasts, beasts, and then points at the cockerel.
Branwen,
How do we translate that into an insight is my question. Um, hmm. Oh God, my brain. I'm sorry, I'm just blanking right now.
well, look,
Roast
the
ghosts.
pair of you give it a bit of thought.
To be honest, I kind of like roast ghosts.
Roast ghosts.
Well, in the sense of, the spirits of people who have been killed and eaten, or yeah, coming back, maybe. I don't know, yeah. Roast ghosts return.
Roast.
And Gwylog does seem a bit singed.
Roast ghosts. Let's go with roast ghosts for now. And then let me ask Gwylog and Cenred whether there is anything that they want to agree as an insight from either events involving Gund, the spirit, the dead friend of Beermund, or indeed events leading to you getting hold of that amulet stroke talisman, whatever it might be.
Could go Gwylog with revenge of the captives.
Yeah, I mean, definitely like some insight into the fact that
Or the power of the witch.
That are you nailing Calla down as a witch at that point?
Well, it's a good broad term, isn't it? She cuts people up. She's pretty nasty on the ground.
What are you thinking, Robbie?
yeah, I mean if we could connect those two like about the witch um um the witch causing this kind of rage of the dead, right? That there's I mean, clearly there's an insight that right, those who are being captured and then vivisected are now plaguing the land with this rage.
What about rage against the witch?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sounds like some sort of folklore band.
Also, she's a witch. She doesn't seem to be doing a very good job. It does not seem to be working.
Well, she needs certain humours. Maybe that's what she's after.
Special humors, outsiders humors. I've got they eat strangers, don't they? The power of flesh, roast ghosts, and rage against the witch. Okay, that's where we're at. Now, if you were to try to resolve all of this now, you would be rolling at +1. But there is always an insight to be found in one of the nearby locations of interest. So I'm going to suggest that you are sitting among, a fallen wall, lots of large blocks of stone, and considering what to do next. And in particular, whether you were going to go into these, because there's some arches, there's some walls, but none of it looks very secure. Indeed, it looks positively treacherous. What do we
Follow
think?
that chicken.
I mean, Branwen's happy to follow along since they are still incorporeal. Not
Yeah,
follow
I mean,
along, I mean have a look around.
so take the lead, Branwen.
I'm sure, I guess.
Okay, okay. So we are entering well location of interest. So we're using the location move. When you approach a location with the descriptor treacherous, I foreshadow its risks and consequences. I think my question for Branwen, as you begin to lead them into these ruins, this treacherous, unstable area of building, is how do you find a path that through a safe way through these crumbling ruins that means that no one's going to get hurt?
I mean, my suggestion would have been that I go by myself, but
Well, that
maybe
is an
that is not.
option. That is an option. The others can wait on the edge of this location and wait for you to come back with news.
I guess how do the others feel about that is my question.
I think Carrie yawns hugely and finds like a nearby tussock of grass and sort of curls up on it.
Cenred, Gwylog, are you content to sit this one out? And
I
in
mean,
the
we're
hope
dealing
that,
with spirits. You are a spirit, but that means they can attack you. And if there's,
Sure.
I don't like the odds in your favor here, really, Branwen.
Well,
It could be one against many
you are
without any
welcome to
backup.
join.
Without any backup.
It was just an offer.
But feel
Because,
free to take the lead, of course.
right.
I mean, you
Okay.
are definitely the best person for that.
Well, then I'm not going by myself. What about Gwylog? Are you coming?
Yeah, and I think Gwylog nods, as Kenred is speaking and says, "Yeah, Branwen, you certainly have you have advantages in this treacherous place, but we don't know what lurks here,
Right.
and I certainly would want to keep you uh, close. So, you know, please, take the lead, but I will follow
Okay.
behind.
And seeing that everyone else is getting ready to go, Carrie will sigh and, slog up to his feet and grab his stick, and he's trailing behind you. But instead of using stick as a walking stick, it's like dragging on the ground behind him. And seems very long-suffering.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry you couldn't have your nap. Okay, well then I guess yeah, I will probably try and look about me very attentively and
well,
maybe knock
I,
at
let me
anything that looks already too loose,
okay, let me
before anybody steps through.
I'll ask you the questions in a moment, but this is there's a learning point on the rules here. Um,
Cool.
the harm track, the condition track goes down. So can you, if you just check out Gwylog's track, he's got 4 tick boxes ticked. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's wearied, wounded, dying, and a second wounded.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, as in it
it should
should
go
be marked this
down.
way.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
yeah,
Yeah.
with me. And
Okay.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So just for reference, that means that I could invoke a disadvantage if I think that, the burns are become annoying to you, because that's what that dying represents. Yeah.
Mm,
So Ranwen, you are you want to look about you and try to avoid falling masonry, seems to me.
exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that is this first location move is roll plus sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, luckily that is a good stat for me.
It
But then
is.
again, I have not been rolling anything useful, so we'll see. Oh, can I well, it's too late because I already rolled, I guess, but I was going to ask whether you think my incorporeal state helps with this.
I don't think it does. I think it means
Okay,
that if things start collapsing, you're unlikely to get
cool.
hurt.
No, just because anyway, I rolled a 7, so that's good because it's a 9 then.
Okay, so on a 9. 7+, you manage the risk and avoid the consequence. So you're carefully moving through this. The others are following you. We see some, some bits of wall crumble maybe, but not in a way that's dangerous to you. We know the risk is there, but it's not actually impacting on you. 7 to 9, the fate describes the cost of your success. You mark harm doing it? No. Respite is temporary? No. There's some other appropriate cost. I think the some other appropriate cost, Branwen, is you get some sense that there are unquiet spirits of some kind in this sacred place. Yeah?
Okay. Does that affect me in any way that I should mark
No,
mechanically or just
no,
all right?
it's just me foreshadowing, I think.
Okay.
Um, so that is, I think, what you feel. This is a sacred place. There are spirits here, old spirits. The question that whoever's going to, if it's going to be Branwen or whoever else takes over leading through the ruins now that you've met the initial challenge, is how you're going to show some respect for the sacredness, or maybe for the gods to whom this was once consecrated. Don't know. Is Branwen going to carry on in ahead, or is somebody else better suited to show a bit of spiritual respect?
I mean, the best suited is obviously Gwylog, but he's also dying, apparently.
He's looking rather worse for wear. Yeah. What do we think? Branwen, do you want to carry on leading? I should ask that question first.
I guess I can. Maybe I will just confer with Gwylog about whether he knows how to best approach this place rather than asking him to take the lead.
And
Unless you
then
want to and just
call on him to help another hero if things go a little.
yes.
Yeah, okay. So clearly, any insight you're going to gain here is going to have something to do with the sacred, something to do with the supernatural, I guess. So, yeah, so let's have you roll. How do we see you, Branwen, entering the kind of the consecrated space of these ruins? What's your demeanor? What are you doing to show respect?
I think before we enter, I will probably stop at whatever seems like a threshold and sort of gesture to everyone to, not bump into me. And I will pull a little satchel out of my cloak somewhere. And I think it just has a bunch of, what does it have? I think it has seeds, like, from maybe wildflowers, etc. And I will just sort of sprinkle them all around the threshold before stepping over it. And I hope that that is something that will suffice as a show of respect.
Hey, I think that strikes me as a spiritual act. So I think I'm going to have you roll plus favor.
Okay. Roll plus favor. Ooh. 9 plus favor is 12.
Wow. So on a 7+, spend favor. So that's as good as it gets. 10+, nothing stands in your way. You are going to gain an insight. I think that what I can tell you here is that I think there's going to be a statue here. A statue or a carving in the wall. in whatever torchlight or lantern light you're able to illuminate it with. And it's a figure leaning over a wounded soldier, a Roman soldier, and they're wielding a very fine blade, um, and wielding it very carefully and beautifully carved on the handle is two intertwined snakes. What insight do you gain from this, Branwen? And you're very happy, you can always throw it open to the table and seek views, but you're my
Yes,
starting point.
please. If anybody has a good idea. I'm wondering, is this, sort of a depiction of what Kala is trying to do, but possibly failing at? Or
I think that's a really good one.
did we see snakes before?
No,
It's a sort of symbol of healers, though.
Yes.
From
we saw eels.
You saw
Yes,
eels.
we did see the eels.
So I think maybe this is like a well, either how do you say that? A weak imitation of that doesn't quite
Pastiche.
cut the mustard, or a willful what is the word?
Perversion.
A willful subversion of it.
So
maybe that would make more sense to enrage other spirits and the unquiet old spirits or something like that.
I mean, I think it probably makes sense if there is a slightly benign look on the face of the physician in this carving.
Yeah, so maybe, what do you think? Willful subversion of an ancient ritual?
Yeah, that's good.
Go with willful subversion.
Okay.
I think it's fair to say she has not been abiding by the Hippocratic Oath.
Willful subversion, it is. So you are now, that is your 6th insight. But
6th, 5th.
5th,
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, so it is. So you're at +2. But every time you get an insight, I get to add some shade. So I'm happy to tell you that we are now in the dark column.
Amazing.
And dark, the hand of fate moves to threaten the heroes and the settlement. The fates range a surprise attack on the heroes, all of whom are disadvantaged by a potent manifestation of the darkness, which also places a significant NPC in jeopardy. Now, we still have Brand with us, don't we? So what do we do when Brand screams and Gund reappears? Think about that while we take our second break.
It's 10 already.
So I will pause.
Got to learn how to roll, yeah.
What happens when it fully completes, by the way?
Which completes? When darkness?
Yeah.
I was about to explain. So we're back from our commercial break. The shade track has one more box to be filled. The first time that the darkest end of the shade track is marked, on the shade tab it says, the hand of fate moves to threaten the heroes and the settlement. You are surprised by an attack by a potent manifestation of the darkness, which places a significant NPC in jeopardy. If you beat off this potent manifestation, then the next time shade is marked, a revelation is automatically triggered. Now, I think it's also true to say that you will hear screaming carried on the wind from the settlement. So the darkness is not just manifesting here, it is manifesting there. My question to you is, do you stay and face Gund's disemboweled body? or do you race back to the settlement? Gwylog, I come to you because you are raging at the moment. I think maybe you want to see this creature off again.
Yeah, well, I don't think there would be any question in Gwylog's mind that with Gund, right after that, recent encounter, I mean, Gwylog will step forward and say, um, it's time to, right. I banished you once, but now it's time to make it permanent.
Branwen, you also have a tool in your toolbox you might want to use here because you were thinking about using it earlier. I just want to give you the option.
Yeah, I don't think Branwen has any sympathies, any, strong sympathies for the people in the village anymore after tonight. So I think they're not too bothered about racing back necessarily.
Cenred, Ceri, is your inclination to stay and face Gund or go and help the villagers?
Lots of dead bodies in the village. I mean, there's good chance of loot there, isn't there? So let's stay here and face Gund.
Ceri?
I mean, Brad did her a solid earlier, so I think definitely has a mind to help out in this situation. Although there are the dogs back in the village.
Well, let's see what happens next. Might decide you, Ceri, because Gund blinks out of existence and appears behind Brand, loops some of his intestines around his neck, and begins to strangle the poor man. Branwen, what do you do? Oh no, Ceri, what do you do? Go back to the dogs?
Oh no, I mean, I think Brad is nope, Bard. Sorry, I think Bard is a higher priority for him just at the moment. Um, I mean, I think Carrie also sort of knows instinctually there's not much he can do about ghosts. Um, besides, attempting to perhaps distract them. So
Okay.
I think Carrie is going to start speaking in tongues. Um, when you draw attention to yourself by shouting gibberish, describe some item in the scene that offers a clue about your life before you were touched and roll plus favor. And I think the clue here is uh, being in a ruined place, right? The tumbled stone. This was a place that was once full of, life, perhaps a place of healing, and is now, well, less empty than it might be, but certainly not the beacon of life it once was. Uh, and that'll be plus flavor, which is 2. So that will be 9.
7 plus, say who or what attention you attract. Well, I think it's fairly obvious. 7 to 9, you are so caught up in your own gibberish that you are also disadvantaged on your next action. So Gund while strangling Bard, Gund is kind of distracted from his work by Ceri's work, by effort.
Hopping from foot to foot, waving his hands wildly, shrieking in a language, if it's a language that none of you know. Yeah, I think they're both back-footed.
Branwen?
I think so. You say the intestines are part of this spirit, correct?
Yes.
But they're also corporeal enough to strangle this guy.
Yes.
Okay. I think um I think first Branwen wants to take their knife and cut through this intestine.
Okay. So it has 2 defenses before. I mean, this is trying to protect Bard. I get that. But just so you all know, Gund has 2 defenses, his rage and his spiritual incorporeal nature. But Branwen, let's have you roll to face the challenge of freeing Bard. So the field is open. Yeah. So I think this is steel.
Yes. Do you think I have advantage because I'm incorporeal?
No,
No? Okay.
no. I think another spirit's going to see you come in.
That's fine. I'm just hoping at some point I can spend favor to get advantage. Okay. Well, then it's just two. Two. That is not so good.
That is
It is
not
a
good.
5.
That is 5. Okay. So on a 5, let me just check because blows past through your body. Oh yes. It has to do you harm for your translucency to kick in. As it is about to do so. So I will mark shade, which is going to trigger a revelation
Hmm.
on that failure, unless somebody else leaps to your aid.
Yeah, did we not have an advantage going there?
I
Or
didn't
did we
think
use
so.
it?
You did.
Gund has a
Did.
disadvantage going forward.
You did roll
Yeah.
that blue dice, Branwen.
Oh,
Thank you, Cenred. Because if that was to come up as a 5 or a 6, I think you're all right.
He's distracted, you see.
He was distracted. Sorry, my mistake. I apologize.
right.
I'm just getting excited.
Unfortunately not. It is a 2.
Jeez. Okay.
Well, but my question is about this whole harm thing. It's about uh you wait, it's about avoiding harm, right?
It is. It's about avoiding harm coming at you.
Right. And
Yeah.
so far you haven't tried to give me harm.
I
Okay, so then
haven't. You've never put yourself in the front line like this, but I'm about to, I think,
okay.
because on a failure of so you don't cut Bard free, um, but on a 6 mark shade, expect the worst now or later. And I think what he strangled him with one loop of his intestines, and he puts another loop of intestine around you, and begins to pull on both. But this might be the point where your translucency has some usefulness,
Indeed.
because he's about to do 2 harm to you unless you deliberately weaken your seeming to allow a blow to pass through your body. Roll plus favor.
Yes. And now would I have an advantage because I'm already in my
I'm
incorporeal
prepared to give you
seeming?
an advantage because you're already in
Cool.
your seeming.
Because then I could, yeah, I could spend favor to gain advantage on that. So I'm gonna roll with advantage and plus favor. Today we need everything we can get.
The audience is on
Why
the
is
edge
this
of its
taking?
seat. That does seem to be taking a long time, doesn't it?
And it's still horrible, but just about enough because it's a 7 with my favor.
There we are. So on a 7 to mine, mark 1 less harm. So instead of 2 harm, you just get 1 harm. Yeah.
Cool.
But I'm going to have the loop of gut passes through your neck and you're freed. So Ceri is distracted. Branwen has tried to rescue Bard and failed. But we just that was a failure. So we've triggered a revelation. Now,
Okay.
part of me doesn't want to squeeze because we're finishing slightly early tonight. Part of me doesn't want to trigger a revelation now and try to squeeze it into the next 10 minutes. I'm inclined to say we leave it on that cliffhanger, because the screaming in the village grows and a figure emerges from behind that carving of the surgeon working on the Roman soldier, and it declares that it is Vibius Calasuna, and following him out of the rock comes Calla, wielding a knife that looks a lot like the one in the carving. And that is where we'll pick up next time. Okay? Because you've
Nice.
worked hard on this one. I don't want to kind of underplay it. So we'll pause there. We'll do end of session experience, lest I forget. Um, let's start this time with our Celtic mystic. Did your burden make a difference for good or ill?
I think so. I had the rage that was
Absolutely. And just
okay.
at the end, they're saying, you're not running from this gut wielding ghost again. So you get one for your burden. And did you address a challenge with ancient law?
Um, well, yeah, I did with the banishment move where I was in, summoning powers forth from the wood of the hall.
Yeah, no, I go with that. So that's two more. So you clear your experience, you get one carried forward,
Right.
and you get to choose an improvement.
Yep.
Let us come to Branwen. Did your burden make a difference for good or ill? Yes, it did, because I forced you to go and sneak up on them, didn't I?
Hmm.
So that's worth one. And did you address a challenge with stealth?
I did
You
in the
did.
beginning in the hall.
You did. So you can have another one for that. Let's come round to Kerry the Loon. Did your burden make a difference for good or ill?
Hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah. The sort of incoherent shrieking that it didn't help that much, but it could have, right, in a different world. So.
And it doesn't have to win. It doesn't have to work. So
Mhm.
by all means, have one for that. And did you address a challenge with lunacy?
I would say sneaking around underneath the tables at a feast as an
Yeah,
adult
you you
is
you
not
you
normal behavior.
no, you went full loon. You can have one for that as well. And finally, our reformed Cenred. Um, did your bird make a difference for good or ill? I think it did because you had your head in a chest.
Yep.
And did you address a challenge with guile?
Yeah, I think that sort of plan to distract and split and conquer. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So you can have one for that as well. Um, and before I do stars and wishes, I realised at the start I did not say that this game is organised as part of the Open Hearth gaming community's monthly calendar. You want to know more about Open Hearth? Search Open Hearth in Google or somewhere else, or go back and hear more in session one. Sorry, lol. Um, so, any stars, any wishes? I mean, is there anything I'm particularly interested in your wishes about this confrontation next time? I suppose.
Um, nice evil witch. You can't go wrong with one of them.
So we've got Calla. Yeah, I've enjoyed Calla, I have to say. She has not said a lot, but she's been a driving force. Any wishes for next time, Paul?
No. I'm happy that maybe we get another off the road encounter. That was enjoyable. So yeah, one of those if possible. But yeah, all's good. I don't desire anything massive.
Okay. Zena, any stars, any wishes?
I mean, I don't think I have any wishes. I'm having a good time. I can't think of anything specific. I mean, but if we want stars, or would you like to go through wishes for everyone
No, no,
first?
that's fine. Any stars, let's take them as we
All
go.
right. Well, I really, really enjoyed Kenred's um, talk with the guard about needing to be in the what was it?
In the stockade.
Yeah.
Stockade is the word. Thank you. To really know what's what. I really loved that, and I enjoyed finally seeing Gwylog lose his nerve and really let loose. That was very, I don't know, well anticipated.
Yeah, I mean,
And
almost twisting the arm off someone is I think pretty rage filled.
it's pretty good, yes. Did not disappoint. And yeah, for the loon, as always, the hilarious shenanigans underneath the tables. Tables were always good. Yeah. Ooh. Otherwise, yes, I also very much enjoyed the gory descriptions of you, Alan. So thanks for that. That was, yeah, intestines around two different necks. Yeah,
Um,
very good.
T, any stars, any wishes?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the session. I just some stars. The moment when Branwen honored the ghost by scattering wildflowers, I think was just very lovely and sweet, and not especially Christian, perhaps. And I think sort of reveals a little bit more about their, um, religious upbringing. Um, I very much enjoyed, like everyone else mentioned, Gwylog finally snapping and attempting to escort this ghost to a fiery end. I thought was wonderful. Um, uh, Also, very much like Sina, a big fan of Black Cenred's patter. I think the little moment where you said something like, "I distracted Carrie years ago, and they've been distracted ever since." I thought was particularly apt. Yeah, and very much. I feel like we're hitting cannibalism check, gore check. These are wishes in our safety tools, by the way. So at some point, definitely going to get into plague as well, which I think will be fun.
Only a matter of
So,
time. Only a matter of
of
time.
course. Yeah.
And finally, Robbie, any stars, any wishes?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
sorry,
star.
T. T, was there any specific wish beyond plague?
I don't. Nothing comes straight to mind. Although I'll plus one polls that an extra off-road encounter would be fun again. I also enjoyed the last one.
Okay. Sorry, Robbie, go.
Yeah, I mean, just stars. I liked the way that the beginning of the session we were to some extent going separate ways, and but then coming back, and the that I think Alan was very well handled, and I enjoyed everybody kind of getting some spotlight time. Then kind of in a we were in the same general location, but we were all kind of also kind of doing our separate things. Black Kenred's, not only the patter, but also thinking about, oh, I can pull up the rear, and always thinking about like the material advantages that might be in store for him. Or even, that point of like, oh, we don't need to go back to the village right now. We'll just let whatever transpires happen. But then we can come back and see what goodies might be waiting for us in the aftermath of what's happening down there. Um,
Yes.
you
Let's
know,
let's let's the villagers be slaughtered. They'll be booty.
yeah, so we can scavenge then. I guess the wish is I'm not going to be here next week,
I
so kind
know.
of thinking about like how that will play out. And Alan, if you need to kind of communicate with me in terms of things that are kind of going on, I did look at other moves. So I think I'm going to take the ire of the gods when you call on the power of your gods to confront them, say what form that power takes and roll plus favor. And that's kind of a flexible move. But if that gives you some inspiration as to how to manage things with Gwylog now.
Yeah, I mean, what I might do, I think, is to have Gwylog in the background of this confrontation, holding off Gund and dealing with Gund, so that we've got some, pending the quality of the revelation roll. Yeah, I was torn between trying to squeeze it into 10 minutes and you not being here next time. So I wish I'd managed the time tonight. That's my wish. I thought I was managing the time all right, and then things took you failed so much that we got the revelation really swiftly. What can I do? So yeah, I normally I try to stick the landing a bit better than this, but there you go. So no, this was great. You gave me again lots of stuff to work with. Thank you. This has been one of the goriest settlements I've ever run, I think. But that's great. It's turned out, and I am hitting those interested in as quick as I can. So with that, I will stop the recording. So wave bye bye to the internet.